Hey, my name is Diane and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a really quick, easy roasted dinner. We're going to be making New York strip steak. So these are nice thick steaks that we got from Sam's Club. And we're going to have roasted sweet potatoes and we're going to have asparagus roasted. Alright, so let's get into this. So the first thing we're going to do is heat up our Ninja Pro grill and get that going because it takes a while for that to heat up and get ready. So we're going to get that going first. Next, we're going to wash our asparagus. We want to get that really clean, so we're going to add some baking soda to it. And we want to let that set in the water for a good 10 minutes. Then we want to come back in and want to rinse it a couple of times to make sure we've gotten all the baking soda out. And then we're going to pat it dry. And then we're going to add our seasoning to it. So here's our salt. We're going to put a fair amount of salt on it because we want to season it while it's cooking to bring out the flavors of it. And then we want to also go in with our pepper. This is our coarse black pepper. We want to add a good amount of that. We really like pepper, so we add a lot. Next, we want to put in some avocado oil. Avocado oil has a high smoke point, so we definitely want to use that when we're roasting it in the oven. And we just want to mix this together really good till everything is completely coated. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get ready to put this in our pan. And we're just going to spread it out in our sheet pan. And we're just going to spread everything the long way. Now let's get our sweet potatoes ready. And we're just going to rinse the dirt off, but we're going to peel them. So we're going to get some water in here. Then we're going to start peeling our sweet potatoes. We're going to add them to the water as we peel them. So we're going to do the next potato, chop it up. Now you can chop it the way you want. I just like to just chop it in half and then again and then turn it flat and chop it one more time. You can put it in your vegetable chopper if you have one, but with two potatoes, I mean, just do it by hand and then you won't have to worry about washing your vegetable chopper. It goes really quick anyway. Now that you've got them all chopped, you're just going to give them a good swishing around in case there's any debris or dirt left from the skin. Now we're going to drain them really good. We want to make sure we get all the water off of them. We don't want any water left on them because it will hinder the baking process. Now we're going to pat them dry really well. We're going to add some butter to them. So this is just butter. Then I'm adding, you can do olive oil if you want, and then I'm putting in some brown sugar. You can put in as much or as little as you want, just whatever you desire to put in. But here's some nutmeg that I'm going to add to it as well. So whatever spice you want to put on it, you put on it to make it your very own. Alrighty. Then we're going to give this a good toss with nice clean hands. Always remember to have clean hands when we're working in the kitchen. We don't want to transfer any germs. Your hands are God's given tools, so use them. Alrighty, here we go. Now we're going to put our potatoes on our sheet pan and we're getting ready to stick this in the oven so we can let everything cook. And then we're going to go on over and start on our steak. Yum, this is going to be a great meal for two. Steak, roasted sweet potatoes, and roasted asparagus. What a great little easy meal to make. Look at this. Doesn't this just look absolutely delicious? I've attached my probe while it's heating up. Now we're going to move on to our steaks. We're going to pat them and get them nice and completely as dry as possible. These are New York strip steak. So this is what we prefer to have, although we do also like to eat the ribeye, but we prefer the New York strip. And we're just patting these completely dry on both sides. Okay, so now we're going to tenderize it. And this is what I use. This is a manual tenderizer. I do not use any type of spice to tenderize it with. I don't use that meat tenderizer that comes in a little shaker container because it's added salt. I use this, and it does a terrific job of tenderizing the meat for me. I'm so sorry about all the background noise, but I forgot to hook up the headset for my husband to watch TV. So we're just going to roll with it. You get a little bit of news in the background. So we're going to continue doing this. And I will normally do it a couple of times on each side in both directions, vertical and horizontal. Make sure you get the ends well because you don't want the ends to be hard and chewy. And here are the blades, and they pierce the meat and make them tender. Alrighty. Next, we're going to do pepper, and we're going to add pepper to both sides of our steak. And this is the coarse black pepper that I have. And we're going to put a generous amount of pepper on there. And then we're going to go on with salt and do the same thing and put a generous amount of salt on both sides of our steak. I do like the salt, but it doesn't have iodine in it. And I find that my legs cramp. So here we're going to put in our avocado oil. And we're going to do the same thing. A generous amount of that on both sides. And I'm going to use my brush just to keep my hands from getting oily. If you don't have a brush, of course, you can just use your fingers. I've done that a trillion times. But you want to make sure you get the sides to get the fat so it'll crisp up nice and pretty when you put it on the grill. All right, here we are. We're going in on the second side of our meat. We're doing the same thing, pepper and then salt. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. You can do the salt first if you want to. I just like the taste of that pepper and that salt when it's grilled. Oh my goodness, it brings out such a wonderful flavor. All righty. Now, if you want to use those marinades that you can buy in the store or make your own marinade, of course, you can always do that. I've did that in the past before too, but I find that we just like salt and pepper best of all. All right, so look at that. That looks so good. All right, our grill is ready, so we're getting ready to put our steaks on. And for this grill, they always tell you to use avocado oil, but I have used just regular olive oil in the past, but the avocado oil has a higher smoke point. So we're going to put our probe in, and we're going to put it all the way in through to the center. And then we're going to place it on the grill, and I'm going to press it down. And then we're going to close the top and let it cook. Alrighty, so it's cooked for maybe 3 minutes. I'm going to flip it, and as you can see, it already has some wonderful grill marks. I'm going to let it cook until it tells me to flip it. And here we are. We're at the halfway mark. So I'm going to flip it. I'm going to let it continue to cook until it says to get food. I will not flip it again. 169. Okay, it's done. It's telling me to get the food. It has reached the temperature that I have set it at. And oh boy, don't these look delicious. Oh my goodness. So we're going to remove our steak. I've got my platter to set it on. Look at that. I'm just going to grab it, pull it out, put that also on the platter. Now we're going to let our meat rest for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, our roasted vegetables are out, and oh my goodness, they look marvelous and smell good as well. Okay, so everything is completely done. We got our steak still resting. Always set your timer and let your steak completely rest so the juices can distribute and it'll be nice and juicy. We have our roasted vegetables. They're completely done. The pan is still hot, but wow. Look at that. You can grab it up here. That looks so delicious. Yummy, yummy, y'all. So I'm going to plate this up, show that to you. at the end of this video, but I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Remember to keep God first and make Him the first priority in your life and in everything you do and all the decisions that you make. Make sure you put God first. Thank you. Be blessed, and I'll see you real soon.